Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we'll look at how in rabbinic tradition, rabbinic literature, one of the names of God seems to be man. So this is the first midrash we'll look at. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great. It is written, "For there is a man whose work is with wisdom, with knowledge, and with smoothness." There is a man actually refers to God, as the midrash goes on to elaborate. That's the footnote. So then this rabbi says, "How great is the power of prophets, and that they can liken the creation to its creator, as it is stated, I heard the voice of a man by the lay in Daniel 8. Rabbi Yehuda bar Simon said, you have another verse that is even clearer than this one, as it is stated, and upon the likeness of the throne was a likeness like the appearance of man, whose work is with wisdom, as it is stated, the Lord founded the earth with wisdom." So they're saying here, for there is a man in this verse in Ecclesiastes, the man there is God. Which is very strange because the verse in Ecclesiastes is not actually talking about God. But it says man, and they've understood that man is one of the titles or names of God. And this, by the way, is what Arthur Morgenstern points out in his book, The Old Rabbinic Doctrine of God, Volume 1, Names and Attributes of God. Okay, so this is, again, the same collection, or same midrash, Genesis Rabbah, Bereshit Rabbah. So this rabbi says, "This is joy for a man in the pronouncement of his mouth, and how good is a word at its time. Joy for a man, Ish. This is the Holy One, blessed be He, as it is stated, the Lord is a warrior, Ish Milchama. The Lord is His name. In the pronouncement of His mouth, the Lord said, let there be light, and how good is a word at its time. God saw the light, that it was good." So first says there is joy for a man. And he's concluded that man here is a reference to God. Because another place, in Exodus, it says the Lord is a man of war. Again, Bereshit Rabbah. So Rabbi says, he caused them to be pitted before the man, the Holy One, blessed be He, as it is stated, the Lord is a man of war. So again, the phrase before a man, before the man, they said man is here God. So again, you can see that they've understood that man is one of the titles of God, or the names of God. Another midrash. So this rabbi explained the verse, like a bird wandering from its nest, so is a man wandering from his place. And he says that it refers to the Lord, who is a warrior and has no place other than the temple. So again, what is this? In this midrash, it is said that God does not return to his house, as it is stated, so a man wanders from his place. So the Bible is just speaking about some man, right? Just like it's Proverbs, so it's probably just like saying, like, if I say, oh, a man walked in the street and some wisdomous stuff. I don't know, I'm not explaining it well, but the point is, like, Proverbs and these verses in the Bible, they're not talking about God when they say man. They're just talking about some man, right? But the rabbis, they interpret man to be God. That's completely inappropriate. Another midrash, gather me 70 men. And the footnote, the midrash is ignoring the fact that the Hebrew uses singular nouns with large numbers in order to build an interpretation on the singular verse from the elders of Israel. This text is related. The one who loves purity of heart has grace on his lips, has a king as his friend. Why did he not say to him, 70 men, with men in the plural, instead of 70 men? It is simply that he said to him, 70 men, ish, with the singular ish, indicating singular individuals, i.e. singular individuals like the one described in Proverbs 20:11, because they were to be like me and you. As stated, the Lord is a man of war. And also about Moses, it's stated, now the man, Moses, was very humble. Gather me 70 men from the elders of Israel, but did you not have elders before? Basically, it's saying that in Exodus, God is called a man of war, and in Numbers, Moses is also called a man. So the reason the Torah says 70 men is because it wanted to show that these 70 men that were chosen were like God and like Moses. And in the footnote, they've explained that the Midrash is actually ignoring how Hebrew grammar really works. So this is the Babylonian Talmud. Rabbi Yohanan says, so this verse indicates that he stood before the Holy One, blessed be he, with brazenness, as it is stated, choose yourselves a man, Ish, and let him come down to me. And man is referring to none other than the Holy One, blessed be he, as it is stated, the Lord is a man of war. Samuel is not talking about God when he says choose yourselves a man. But that's their midrash. That's their midrashic interpretation. Completely inappropriate to take a text that's talking about a human being and say that it's talking about God and that one of the names of God is man, right? Human being. Or male human being or whatever. Again, from the Babylonian Talmud, and mankind is bowed down and man is humbled, that they cause the enemy of the Holy One, blessed be he, i.e. God himself, to be brought down as man in the phrase, and man is humbled, meaning nothing other than the Holy One, blessed be he, as it is stated, the Lord is a man of war. So God is brought down and he's humbled to the position of a man. I mean, I don't know what to say. This, again, is the Babylonian Talmud. For the Ish, meaning man, or like in the pun, so Ish in Hebrew means man. For the Ish is not at home, he is gone on a long journey. And Ish is referring to none but the Holy One, blessed be he, as it is stated, the Lord is an Ish of war. Again, the Babylonian Talmud. What is the meaning of that which is written, I saw the night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle bushes that were in the depths. That's the book of Zechariah. What is the meaning of the phrase, I saw the night? The Holy One, blessed be he, sought to transform the entire world into night. And behold, a man riding. The word man is referring to none but the Holy One, blessed be he, as it stated, the Lord is a man of war. Upon a red horse alludes to the fact that the Holy One, blessed be he, sought to transform the whole world into blood. Now, if I recall, Zechariah is actually talking about an angel there. But I have to check. But anyway, you can see how this is very inappropriate to say that man is a name of God based on such flimsy evidence. In fact, it's not evidence. These verses in the Bible are talking about men. And they're justifying all this by saying that Exodus says that the Lord is a man of war. And hence, so many verses, they're just talking about human beings. We're going to say it's about God. We're going to say a name of God is man and all this stuff. I mean, that's just inappropriate.